This segment of DelmarvaLife is sponsored by For All Seasons Behavioral Health and Rape Crisis Center.
In this day and age, it is so easy to get overwhelmed. Many of us have so much to do, and travel, chores, family obligations, don't forget work. It is so hard to even just catch your breath. Now, all of these things swirling around us can make it difficult to find peaceful moments for ourselves and mentally relax. And make no mistake, the importance of finding a balance in life between the chaos and the calm cannot be overstated. Well, Beth Dorman is the CEO of For All Seasons Behavioral Health and Rape Crisis Center, and she's going to help us learn a little bit more about that balance. Beth Ann, always good to see you.
Good to see you.
So why do you think it is that our society is so consumed with the societal badge of busy?
You know, there is something to be said about keeping up with the Joneses. It used to be that you were keeping up with the Jones financially. Now you're keeping up with the Jones in terms of your schedule. And when you think about kids and the activities that they're in, and are you busy at work, and who's there earliest and who's there the latest, there's a competitive edge that comes with staying busy. There's also the feeling that you're not doing enough, because our society has really moved into a place of the busier you are, the better you're doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, if we even think about when we do take breaks, how often, you know, when we're going and doing something for ourselves, do you find yourself in a space where somebody might be judging? You're going to get your nails done? How do you have time to do that? These are normal things that people should be free to do and be able to schedule through. But for some reason, our society has shifted a little bit to the busier, the better.
So obviously there are consequences. So what is the result of this overworking and busyness society?
You know, our brains are designed to be able to take breaks. You know, that's why we have timeouts. While it's always been something that's talked about in your being punished, there really is something to be said about taking time for ourselves and giving our system a chance to reset. It helps with our blood flow, it helps with our hearts, it helps with our brain, and it also helps to lower the cortisol that comes through our body. When we are constantly operating in a stressful state, cortisol continues to pour into our body. And it's important that we know that cortisol is only supposed to be in our system for 15 minutes at a time. So when you think about a day where it is stress, 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 and go and go and go, if we're not putting these breaks in, it is physically not well for our bodies to not have a moment of, let me just take 5 minutes, whether it's a meditation, whether it's a cup of coffee, whether it's walking down the hall and having a nice conversation with someone. These breaks are physically important for our system and for our well-being.
Yeah. Okay, so how can we take steps to regain control of those feelings?
You know, one of the things that I always say to folks is look at your week ahead of time. See what's on your plate, and being able to make sure that we are scheduling self-care moments no different than we are scheduling a meeting. And are we working these things into our schedules? It's also important to not think about having to change everything that you're doing all at once. So what's one way that you might be able to work in a 5-minute break in your day? Whether it's just stepping outside if it's sunny, if it's having a conversation with a friend, if it's sending an email and saying, hey, I'm thinking of you to someone, just where we can find joy in moments of chaos, really thinking through and practicing, knowing that this is something we have to practice in order for it to become part of our daily routine. And in all of it, giving ourselves permission to not do it right the first time. You know, sometimes when we try these things, we'll say, well, it didn't work, so I don't even know why I'm trying. Giving it some time to really work its way into our schedule.
All right, so we talked consequences, let's talk benefits of doing all this for ourselves.
Yeah, the benefit is we can be in a more balanced state. We are able to show up differently. You know, when we are taking care of ourselves, we show up as better parents, as better friends, as better spouse and partners. Being able to make sure that we're ready for conversations. You know, if we're walking into a stressful meeting and we take 5 minutes, we can center ourselves in a way where we can be more prepared for hard conversations or easy conversations. And really the benefit of also teaching the next generation that self-care is okay. You know, we are role models for our children. And so seeing you go, 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 puts in the thought for our children that that is the way life is supposed to be. And really, it's our job to model this strong behavior that allows people to be busy, but also has self-care and vacations and things that matter in the mix.
All right, it all sounds great, but what if we're struggling to do all of this? Is therapy something that could help us with this?
Absolutely. You know, we see people come to therapy for all different reasons. You know, some of this might be driven by stress and anxiety. Some of it might be that you're trying to keep up with the family next door, and really being able to figure out why. What is the why behind always needing to stay busy? And sometimes we find in therapy that people are staying busy because it's easy to avoid some of the hard things that we don't want to pay attention to. And so absolutely, you know, there's plenty of resources online. There's meditations that you can use. There are ways that you can connect with our agency. It might just be, hey, I need some tips and tools. You might not need to be in therapy for 6 months. You might need 6 sessions just to say, how do I work towards this better work-life balance and put some more tools in my toolbox?
Very good. Thank you so much, Beth and Dorman, for All Seasons. We'll see you next time.
Yes.